Okay, so for this first example, when you have radical 54, you want to break it down into its perfect squares, which is radical 9 and radical 6. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 6, we don't know what it is, so we will just leave it. And our final answer should be 3 radical 6. For this second problem, when we have radical x to the fourth, y to the third, z to the second, we can break down radical x to the fourth to be x squared because it has two pairs. Y to the third only has one pair in it with one left over. So we're going to leave that in the radical over here. And z squared has one pair with nothing left over, so it'll just be z. In this third problem, we have the square root of 48 divided by 8. Since they're both under the radical, we can divide them. And when we divide them, we get radical 6. Radical 6 doesn't break up into any perfect squares, so we just leave that as our final answer. For this problem, we'd like to solve for x. So I'm going to first get rid of the 2 and move it to the other side. Then I have the square root of x is equal to 10. Once I get to here, I'm going to undo that square root by squaring both sides. So I'll get my answer to be x equals 100. For this fifth problem, when I look at it, I again want to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. I'm going to get the square root of 2x is equal to 10. Then I'm going to square both sides. When I square both sides, I'll get 2x is equal to 100. So when I divide by 2, I will find out that x equals 50. Okay, when I get to this problem, I realize that 3 radical 2 can't simplify, and 5 radical 10 can't simplify. So I got to see if I can add these things. And when I look to add these things, I look and I see, oh, radical 2 is not the same as radical 10. These two things are different. So since these are different, they won't add, and my final answer just stays the same. 3 radical 2 plus 5 radical 10, because I can't add anything together or simplify. In this problem, I look again, and I can't subtract these two things because they aren't the same. But I can simplify this time. So 18 can break down into radical 9 and radical 2. And 12 can break down into radical 4 and radical 3. Well, the square root of 9 gives me 3. And the square root of 4 gives me 2. Whoops. Gotta get 2 for this one. And I can't combine those things because, again, they don't have like radicals. For this problem right here, I look and I see its distribution. So I'm going to distribute the radical 6 by timesing it by both the 4 and the 2 radical 2. 4 and 6 aren't both under a radical, so I just have to leave it as 4 times radical 6. But since I have a radical 2 over here, I can have this one as 2 radical 12, because 2 times 6 is 12. Now I look here and I go, oh, I can't add these things together, again, because this radical is not the same as this one, but this can simplify. So this side will stay the same as 4 radical 6, but this side will become 2 radical 4 radical 3, and radical 4 can become 2, so I'll have 2 times 2 times radical 3 plus 4 radical 6, and 2 times 2 will end up giving me 4, so I'll get my final answer to be 4 radical 6 plus 4 radical 3. Okay, so for this problem right here, again, I'm not allowed to add these things together because they aren't the same, but I can reduce them. This one will reduce to 16 radical 3, and this will break down to be 25 radical 3, which will give me 4 radical 3 and 5 radical 3. Now this time, because they both do share the same radicals, I can add them together and get 9 radical 3. For this triangle problem, when I see this, I look and I go, okay, I'm looking for the missing side x. To find the missing side x, I know one important thing about right triangles, that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so when I look over here, 10 would be a, x would be b, because these are the two shorter sides, so they're the legs, and 12 would be c. So then I start to combine these things. I go, okay, so 10 squared plus b squared equals 12 squared. Or 100 plus b squared equals 144. Well, when I subtract this by 100 and I subtract this by 100, I get b squared equals 44. And now I have to know what b is. So I square root both sides, and I get that b is equal to the square root of 44. That is approximately 6.6. If I can get this right, it's approximately 6.6. There we go. So it's approximately 6.6, or I could break this down and say that it is radical 4 radical 11, or 2 radical 11. So either one of these two things could be my answer. These are all the problems that we've done for the easy sheet. If you look at the next video, I will also go over all the medium problems. The hard problems, there's an answer key attached, but no solution guide for that. Okay? Thanks.